Also wir wissen alle, dass Deutschland weiterhin russisches Gas kauft, aber mit Umwege und teurere Preise. Das wissen wir jetzt alle, aber das ist nicht der Skandal. Die Skandal werde ich dir jetzt erzählen, aber auf Englisch. So here we go, guys. It is Tuesday. It's the 4th of February, 2025. It is 2 p.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for Germany for today. And yes, we all know that Germany still buys Russian gas. They just buy it for way more expensive, and they buy it with, workarounds, kind of like loopholes. Russia sends it somewhere, Germany buys it from that somewhere, and puts it back into the German pipelines here in Germany. And so they know, obviously they know they're still getting Russian gas. They know they're paying more money for it, and yet they don't really care, right? And they try to tell the public, who is obviously not completely retarded, right? At least the people that don't watch mainstream media, they are relatively well informed, and they know that that's a fucking lie. They are lying. They are still buying Russian gas, and they're paying more money for it than they would have if they would have just stuck to the deal that they made with their business partner, Russia, right? Actually, that's the deal. Russia is Germany's business, was Germany's business partner, right? And now I was watching a podcast from the States that they do good work, and they're called the Duran, and they do very good work, and they were talking about an article that was in the Financial Times. I tried to look for it, but the Financial Times wants me to pay for their crap. I'm not doing that, so I didn't get to read the article, but I trust that they are telling the truth on this podcast. So we're going to have to go from secondhand information, but as we know, almost all our information is secondhand. So we're going to have to go through it and see if we trust it, right? So what they say is that there are German elite politicians, not the AfD, right, that are talking behind the scenes to the different Netzbetreiber, the Gaspipeliningbetreiber that run the Nord Stream pipelines. And they're telling them, look, keep the pipelines intact. Let's see what's still usable, because after the war is over with Russia, we probably do want to start going back to Russian gas. Now, who are these mysterious German politicians, right, that are doing this? Well, I mean, it could be anybody, right, except for the Green Party and the leftists. So that pretty much leaves the CDU, CSU, okay? And why would they be doing this behind the scenes? Wouldn't they get a lot more votes? Or is that what they're scared of, that they might not get the votes, right? See, they've maneuvered themselves into such a moralizing, virtue signaling corner, right, that they can't tell the public, guys, the AfD is right. We need to hook back up to Russian gas, because that's the only way that the German industry is going to survive, because the energy prices under this system are just not affordable enough. People are leaving in droves, the companies, right? Because the energy costs are too high. Everybody knows that. They keep trying to tell the people, no, the energy cost went down. Well, they may have gone down from COVID time, you know what I mean? They may have gone down from the time that the year that we stopped taking Russian gas, a little bit, but they're still higher than they were before that shit, right? And they're still too high for the industry. And so the industry is wandering off to other countries and saying, fuck this place, we're done here, right? So now there's politicians from Germany that are telling the public, apparently, right? Telling the public, nope, we're done with Russia. We have to find a new way. We're gonna kill all the nuclear power, and we're just gonna have sun and wind, which doesn't shake the kind of Rechnung and all this other bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's what we're going to do it with. And we're going to put everything on electricity, too. We don't have the nets for it or anything like that. But we're going to make all the heaters electric. We're going to make all the cars electric. And you're just going to have to deal with it. It's going to be super fucking expensive, unpayable, to heat your house if it's all on electric. But fuck you, people. That's what we want. That's what we want to do. That's what their plan is, right? And they keep telling us, well, the contract wasn't ready for Nord Stream. And the one pipeline is now broken. We don't know who did it, though. Wow, we don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who did it. I know who did it, okay? And they're like making excuses after excuses. But apparently, thanks to some leaked information, behind the scenes, some of these same politicians that are trying to sell this idea of, well, we've stopped with Russia because they're the meanies, they're the bad guys, and we don't buy shit from bad guys. Oh, well, unless the bad guys are in Azerbaijan or Qatar, because these same people, aren't they the same people that allowed for the World Cup or the Soccer Cup to be played in Qatar? Isn't that the same people that made it happen that after or during this Qatar shit, during this World Cup, we saw hundreds of commercials? It was like on every day about how great Qatar is to visit, go on vacation to Qatar. Aren't those the same people that are telling us that we can't buy gas from Russia because Russia and Putin are so bad? Isn't that what they're saying? But, okay, that's kind of like the Catholics that still adhere to the Catholic Church and still, still worship Catholicism, still participate in the church, even though they know that the leaders of the church have been covering pedophiles' asses for decades, if not longer. There still hasn't been any accountability, but it's okay to still belong to the church. No, that's all right. That's all right. Rampant pedophilia and child rape. Nothing been done about it except for move these pedophile priests to one place or another. But it's okay to stick with them. And Qatar, nah, they're not so bad. Right? Azerbaijan? Come on, guys. It's the best country to live in. What are you talking about? We can deal with them. Just not bad Putin and Russia. Well, listen, people. If you have a business partner in a business, right? And that partner delivers you the cheapest and the best quality products that you can use for your business, and you find out that business partner did something you didn't like morally, then you didn't agree with them morally, are you going to slit your own business throat and say, well, I'm going to stop buying your stuff because you are not morally aligned with me? I'm going to stop buying your stuff now, so I'm going to kill my business and stop buying your shit. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Listen, Russia was Germany's business partner. When your business partner gets into a conflict that they were forced into, you have your business partner's back. You don't stab your business partner in the back and take the side of his opponent. That's bananas, right? And even if you wanted to take Ukraine's side over Russia's side, okay, also fine. Putin was not the one that said you guys can't have any more gas, right? It was when Germany started virtue signaling and moralizing and saying, we're going to sanction you and we're going to stop doing this, we're going to stop doing that, and your ballerina can't play on stage here, and a pianist can't come and perform here either because Russians are all bad. Then Putin was like, okay, well then fuck you, right? Fuck you, we'll turn it off, all right? But if Germany would have just stayed out of it, right, and kept to their agreement to buy gas from Russia, which is Germany's life's blood, then everything would have been fine. Putin would have continued to sell gas to Russia or to Germany for a reasonable price, and we wouldn't have had the crash of the economy in this country, as bad as it's been. But no, moral virtue signaling is more important to our so-called leaders, which we shouldn't call them. They should not be, they're not leaders, they're servants, right? They are servants. They are our servants. We pay their salary, right? They should stop thinking that they're the leaders. They're fucking not. And if they were, they would be doing a better fucking job. To earn the title of leader, you have to do a good job and you have to lead, right? It's not just sitting there arguing with your pals, making a big theater show in Bundestag and getting paid 11 grand a month. No, sorry, there's real work involved in that shit. You don't want to do it, then fuck off. Go write children's books, go do gymnastics or whatever the fuck that bear book bitch does, and just quit. But no, nobody's quitting. They're like, no, I'm cool with my 11 grand a month. I'll stay right the fuck here. And as long as the German people don't demand actual change, I can keep leeching and grifting and mooching off this system forever. You know what I mean? It's so bananas. So now, according to this Financial Times article, German politicians are behind the scenes trying to keep pipeline open because they are saying that when the war with Russia is over, they will probably have to make a deal with Russia to start getting the pipeline gas back in. As a matter of fact, Germany is it's proven that Germany is probably now buying more Russian gas than they are LNG gas out of America, just through different ways. They have to do something. So why are the politicians that are vying for this behind the scenes, why are they not coming out in public and saying, guys, the AFD is right? That's why. That's why, right? The AFD is right. That's the problem for them. They can't come out, especially not after this debacle from last week. They can't come out and say, guys, the AFD is right. We're going to have to start getting gas from Russia again and, smooth our relationship out a little bit, because they are our most important delivery and business partner that we have to keep the German industry running at this time. And until we find a way to be absolutely self-sufficient, we are going to have to get gas from somewhere. And let me tell you, none of the places you can get the gas from are going to be morally in line with these German wokesters. None of them. Even America, because America is also not morally wow, right? They've also invaded other people's countries, made regime changes in countries they had no business being in, like Ukraine, for example. So if you want to get morally clean gas, then you're basically screwed, right? There's nowhere to get it. There's nowhere to get it. Okay, maybe Norway. Maybe Norway has a little bit. You know what I mean? But basically, in order to run the German industry, you're going to need gas from somewhere that has lots of gas and is going to sell it to you cheap. And I'll tell you what, that's not going to be a country that you're completely morally aligned with. As a matter of fact, that country doesn't exist for the German wokesters, right? For the German wokesters, nobody is as morally virtuous as they are. And since everybody else is basically trying to turn back to common sense instead of wokeness, yeah, they're basically on their own. They're not going to find a country that's going to do it. Listen, you can't fuck over your own business people, your own business partners. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. That's why business people don't do that. That's why business people don't fucking care what their business partners are doing in their private lives, because you would find something that you don't like about everybody and you have to cut business ties with everybody. That's just not how the world is. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's like America trying to bring democracy everywhere. That's not going to... You can't. You can't. Because a lot of these cultures that you're trying to bring democracy into are antithetical to fucking democracy. Doesn't work, right? They don't think like a democracy thinks, so you're not going to be able to do it. They're going to have to want it. Anyway, I think that there are probably politicians behind the scenes, it does sound plausible, that are trying to keep at least the pipelines intact and at least keep open the possibility of trying to get Russian gas once the war is over, because there will be no other way to save this economy. Their problem is, you need to start doing that right now. You know? You need to start doing that right now. But they're hoping on Trump to do the dirty work and get the deal done so that they can then go ahead and get pipeline gas from Russia again. And they might even just lie to the public about where they're getting it. Right? They might even just, because they're not telling anybody now. Why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you, as an election tactic, come out to the people and say, listen, guys, we're going to get cheap gas again. The power and energy prices are going to come down substantially because of it. It's going to be great. But you might win your election like that, you know, because people are paying pretty high for the power. We are, you know what I mean? So, if they're lying about it now, and they are, because they're not coming out with it, it has to be leaked and put in a paper somewhere. And then the names aren't even put in because they don't know the names, or they're not going to tell the names, or they promise not to say the names, whatever. But there are politicians in Germany that are telling the public one thing while behind the public's back they're trying to keep a deal open with Russia, which is what they should have done from the beginning and just been honest about it. But no, moral virtue signaling is more important. Just like we saw with the immigration shit, right? To the parties that are the established parties, including the CDU, they are no different. They are just like the Greens and the SPD. They are no different, right? People say that they've been, voting for the CDU all their lives. Yes, they're different. They're not leftists. Well, they're not conservatives. They're not right wing. They are enslaved to the leftists. They are slaves to the left because they have to do whatever the left tells them to do, because otherwise they will not find a majority in government anymore. Because only party that's in line with them is the AFD, who would get Russian gas today if they were put into power. And that would make power prices go down today, not in maybe another year after they finally cluster fuck around, make a fucking Regierung, wait till the war is done, all this other bullshit. No, they would do it today. And the other politicians are virtue signaling to your face while behind your back they're trying to make the same deal as the AfD wanted to make from the beginning. See, that sounds reasonable. I don't know. I mean, I didn't write the article in the Financial Times. I don't know who did. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're lying, but it sounds pretty believable. It sounds exactly like what these German politicians would do. It sounds exactly like what they would do. Lie to your face, get voted in, and then do the opposite once they're in power. No matter, and the only reason they want to do it is not because they want to give you guys and the businesses here in Germany cheap power again. No, they want to get fucking elected again. Right? They want to stay in power. And they know that the question of the energy prices is going to come up, whether it's this election or the next one. And they're going to have to do something about it. And the only way to do something about it is either get enough nuclear power plants up and running again right now, too scared to do that, right? Or start getting cheap gas again. And they're too scared to do that publicly, so they're going to try to do it through the back door. They're going to try to lie to you guys again, lie to all of us, and get it through the back door. That's what it looks like is happening. I mean, it's amazing. These people are absolute fucking scum. They're absolute scum. The things that we ask for the most, the things that the public wants done the most, they just wipe their asses with it. Tell us, fuck you, pay taxes, shut up, and vote for us when it's time to. That's what they want. That's what they want. And the whole idea about the Brandmauer, they're not the unsere Demokratie. What are they talking about? They want a Parteiendiktatur, right? They want a dictatorship formed by all the good parties. Yeah. I'm sure the Nazis also thought of themselves as the good party, right? As did all the people that followed them, right? So it's exactly the same pattern. The opposition don't want to let them in. People that want to make actual change, no, they're Nazis. While the actual Nazis are sitting there scheming together, even though they're competitors, right? They're scheming together in order to pull the wool over German people's eyes, and they still haven't learned their lesson today. They're still going to continue until they get a richtige Klatsche, is what you guys say. Until they get one. They're going to need one. Maybe it'll be this election. I hope so. But they haven't learned. They haven't learned from Trump's election. They haven't learned from all the people that are now supporting the AfD. They still think they can weasel and lie their way back into power and stay there forever. But that is not happening. That's not happening. So anyway, I wanted to tell you guys about that. It's pretty. It does sound believable, doesn't it? It does sound like the German politicians are scheming behind everybody's back, trying to get Russian gas again. When I'm pretty sure if they just came out and told everybody, they would even win more votes for doing it. But they have no idea what the people think. They have no idea what the people want. Even though the people are yelling it loudly, putting it on X, putting it on every social media. They know, the people are making as clear as they can make, aside from voting for the AfD en masse, right? That they are done with this crazy bullshit, right? And yet these establishment politicians, which the CDU belongs to, they just don't listen. Or they don't care. It's probably both. They obviously don't care, and they don't listen. So, what can I do? What can I say? I can only tell you guys what I heard. That's what I heard. Guys, if you want to get all of my stuff directly in your inbox, including the articles I write, the best place to do that is going to be on Substack. My Substack is it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com. That's it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com. And then you will get all the articles I write, you will get the videos I make, and you'll get them directly in your inbox. So you don't have to wait for a notification or look for it on social media. You'll get it delivered directly to you. Now, you can subscribe for free there. You can also subscribe for $5 a month. I'd appreciate that greatly. It's also the only place that you can support my work with money. All the other places are basically just video platforms, so not making any money there. There's no way to send me money there. All right, that's pretty much it for today. A little bit more boring than the other topics we've been covering lately, for sure, but I think it's important that people get in their heads that these people will sell their own kids to stay in power. They really will. That's what kind of people we're dealing with. The only answer is the AFD. It's becoming more obvious every single day. So let's do it, people. Vote AFD on the 23rd. Let's not forget. Everybody's got to go out. Look what happened in America. Biggest voting turnout like in history, right? And that's what we need here. We need all the people to get off their ass on Sunday, go out and pull the lever for the party that's going to actually try to attempt to make some changes. The party that has the balls to make those changes. That's what we got to do. AFD all the way, people. See you guys tomorrow.